Hi there, Wally here. In this video, I'm going to show you how to proceed with the InPlace Upgrade, aka Leapp. So basically, this software will help you to upgrade your system from RHEL7 to RHEL8 or RHEL8 to RHEL9. In this video, we are going to do the procedure from RHEL7 to RHEL8 using satellite webUI. So if you are not yet subscribed, this is the right time. So just hit the bell and subscribe to the channel. Also, feel free to pick your preferred beverage, have a seat, and let's enjoy the video. We have already in this channel another video about Leapp using CLI or the command line interface, but let me show you how to find the documentation, the official documentation about the InPlace Upgrade. So you can open the Google and put Leapp Upgrade 7 to 8 or 8 to 9. This is going to work as well. You can see the first link over here. This is the link that's gonna help you to proceed with the InPlace Upgrade, specifically for RHEL7 to RHEL8. If you like to know the complete path, you can access docs.redhat.com. In this place, you can click on Explore All Product. From here, you can type Ctrl or Command F, Red Hat Enterprise Linux. You can pick the version 8 because we are going from 7 to 8. And then from here, you can search by upgrade. And then you can see upgrading from RHEL7 to RHEL8. This is going to open page by page. You can click on this one just to see everything in a single page. And then we have the same URL, the same page at all. Okay. Let me click the second one, then we can use this as a reference. In this document, you can see a lot of information. The main point here is on step 4, preparing the system to the upgrade. I recommend you to take a look on the whole document because this is going to provide some additional information. But let me go straight to the point. If you see 4.1, this is the steps that you need to follow if your machine is registered against customer portal. This is the content of the other video. For this one, we are using satellite. So if you have your machine in an environment with satellite, if your client is registered against satellite, this is the step 4.2. All right, let's take a look. You have administrative privilege for the satellite server. You have to, because you have to do some additional steps on your satellite. I'm not gonna read all of them. This is gonna tell us about content view, composite content view, this kind of stuff. But the main point here is in the content view that this machine is registered, we need some repositories. So I'm going from 7 to 8. And my goal is 8.10, the latest version in the date that I'm recording this video. So the repositories that I need is the RHEL7 server, which is this one. I need also 7 extra, which is this one. And I need the AppStream and BaseOS. So in my case, once I'm going to 8.10, because 8.10 is the latest version available, and I would like to go straight to that version, then there you go. I have to sync those repositories. Okay, this is the minimum, this is the required configuration. And then in this document, you can see some additional steps just to see if you have this in your environment. So let me open satellite. I have my satellite here. Let's take a look on content, lifecycle, content view. I have the content view CV Leapp, and I'm using the version 2. You can see repositories. I have 5 repositories. And if we scroll down, I have 7 server extra. I have my 7 server. I have my AppStream 8.10. I have my 8.10 for BaseOS. And I also added the satellite client for RHEL8. Wally, is this required? No. Recommended? Yes. We have some packets over here, but this will not affect your InPlace upgrade at all. This is totally optional, okay? I'm adding because I like to add this all the time. So basically those here are the required. And then we have this content view. All right, the content view is ready. If we click on host all hosts, I have this machine, which is this one over here. I'm gonna close this terminal now. We have the node over here. Basically, this node is RHEL7.8. And if we take a look, we have some bugs or errata over here available. I can also see that this machine is consuming content from this content view, CV Leapp. Okay, so we have the content view. The content view has the right repositories, and this machine is consuming content from that content view. One thing that you see in this document, let me close this one as well. One thing that you see in this document is, hey, you have to go in the latest version. You have to be in the latest version of your RHEL7. This is not the case because, as we saw here, let me see if we do have the information here as well. This is a RHEL7.8, and I'm pretty sure that we have the version 7.9. This is the latest version, but no problem. Let's move it on and let's see how this is gonna happen. As I said before, this is via satellite. No need at all to do any action, at least not at this moment via CLI. But I would like to do some steps here. So both terminal are from this machine. So let me show you some points here. Subscription manager identity. This is gonna show us some information about this server. We can see that we're consuming content from library. This is the lifecycle environment, and this is the content view, CV Leapp, same content view. Yarn repo list. I have the list of repositories that I have available at this moment, which means I have only 7 servers. But Wally, you mentioned that we need the extra. Yes. Subscription manager, repos, -- list. This is going to show all the repositories that we have, enable or disable. And then we can be sure if we have or not extra. And we do. Okay, I also know that we have the RHEL8. Can I see that one from here? No, it is not expected to show or to present anything about RHEL8 in the RHEL7 server. Okay. One thing though that you can do is this: subscription manager release -- list. This is supposed to show you the release from this specific version or this specific base OS. If you are connected through the customer portal, the CDN, I was expecting to see only the 7, anything about 7. 7 server, 7.1, 2, 3, 4, 7.0, all of them. Not this one. This is like a bug. I should not say a bug, but this is something that we'll fix in a future. But at this moment, this is, by the way, helping us to track this kind of situation, because I can see basically all the repositories that was synced and is available to this specific server. Specifically on this lifecycle environment. I have this lifecycle environment, this content view. Once I added the repositories for 8.10 in this content view, I can see this information over here. So I'm pretty confident that I can move it on with the upgrade to the version 8.10, and this is gonna work. Okay, but again, you don't need to do anything of this. This is just like more bonus and more information to you guys, just to know how this process works. Okay, next step, let's do this. I'm gonna put a top over here running, because we can see what's going on, what is happening on this machine during the process, during this journey, and another one with the journal CTL. Eventually I'm gonna change this one, but this is gonna give us some idea. Also, one thing that we need to have here in place in order to move it on with the upgrade is the ability of schedule a job or remote execution. And this can be via Ansible or SSH. And how to check that? Schedule a job can be a command, that is okay. You can just type date. Like, I'm gonna create another video about remote execution and mention all the flags, all the options, everything that we can do. For the sake of this video, I know that this is the target. I know this is the command. I have nothing to change. Then I can skip straight to the review and submit. So this is gonna create a task, and we can see over here that we have, this is the cron job, not the task yet. So the task was created. I can take a look on the preview of this template. I know that I'm running the date command, and I can click over here just to see the output. So this is the output, which means the command was executed. We can see the connection over here via SSH, and this is good. So this will be enough to help me to proceed, or to allow me to proceed with the InPlace upgrade via satellite webUI. And you can see something like this, the success. Okay, let's click on host all hosts. This is the server. Then I can pick the server, select action, and from here you can see that you have the upgrade with Leapp and pre-upgrade check with Leapp. This is the first one. What this is gonna do is we'll do the assessment in the client. We'll check if everything's good to go. And once we have this all set, then we can move it on with the upgrade. So pre-check, nothing necessary here to change. Well, let me go to next just to show you. This is one host, advanced fields, like we have some additional information. If you have a different user, some additional information. If I like to schedule the review, this is the same as the skip to review, and then submit. So what this job is gonna do is this is gonna check if the package is installed. From here, we can see exactly what will happen in that machine. So we have a if test here. I'm testing if the command -v Leapp. This is gonna do a basic test on shell, and then if the binary of Leapp is not installed, then we have this one. Hey, Leapp's not installed, let me exit, and that's it. If the Leapp command is around, what will happen is this machine is gonna remove this file. There is one JSON file on var log Leapp folder, and then we'll execute the Leapp pre-upgrade. After that, at the end of this process, you can see that you have an echo. This echo is just to print in the screen, Leapp pre-upgrade report start. And then we have a cat to the JSON file, okay? So let's take a look. We can see the SSH was executed. We can click on overview. We saw fail, that's okay. Let's click on the machine to see what happened. And check this out. That is failing because we have this exit status of 1. So we are forcing the error, just adding this exit status on the output of this test. Okay, and this is expected. I would like to see something like this if I do not have the Leapp on my machine. Okay, how can I install the Leapp? I can go straight to the machine and run yum install Leapp. But again, we will not do anything like this. We can click on host, all hosts, come back to the host, select action, schedule remote job. From here, we are gonna search by Leapp. So if you see, I have Leapp install, Leapp pre-upgrade, and Leapp upgrade. Leapp install is gonna help us to install Leapp on that server. So let's move it on. Again, I have one server, I have some additional information here, and again, we don't need it. Just once I pick Leapp install Leapp, skip to review, and submit. Now let's take a look on the terminal, because we will see the connection, and after that, we will be able to see in the top some commands running just to install the package. Okay, this is a playbook. We have two tasks. The first one is gonna enable all the repositories, 7 server and extra. And the second one is gonna install the package Leapp. So let's take a look. The SSH is running. We can see the subscription manager command over here. And eventually this is gonna install, yeah, same here. Subscription manager, repos enable. And after that, we will proceed installing the Leapp package. So we can click on overview, click over here. And in this terminal, we can see the output of that task. So basically this is getting the facts. We enable the repositories, and now we are installing those packets. We can see that we are installing some packets over here, some requirements. And then now we have yum install Leapp right here, yum install Leapp. This is going to install requirements plus Leapp at the end of the day. Amazing. We can see that Leapp was installed 017, Leapp upgrade EL7 to EL8, depth 020. This is the version at this specific time frame, and this is in our documentation as well. So if we come back and scroll to the bottom, we can see the end of the play. 2 change, 3 okay, this is okay, the exit status is 0. If we return to the job, we can see the job was concluded successfully. Let's come back to host our hosts and now pre-upgrade check with Leapp. We know the drill. We know that there is nothing else to change. Go straight to skip to review and then hit submit. Again, if you like to see what's happening, definitely you can keep an eye on your logs. But we have the template over here. We have the checking if Leapp is around. If yes, let's remove the JSON file that we have in this folder. So let me change this one a little bit. tail-f on var log Leapp. And from here we have different files. I would like to check the log files. So take a look on that. We have a bunch of information in this log. And this is good. This is expected. The same information will be here as well. This is the information that we are seeing in that log. And this will be getting updated automatically up to the end of this process. So we have the information here, we have the information there. And from here, you can see that we have some additional steps, what's going on, in fact, in that specific time frame. This helps us all the time to understand what's going on under the hood. And subscription manager, repos, -- list enable, just to be sure about the repositories that we have, and some additional steps and tests. Okay, let's return to the job. Then we can wait for this. We can check here. Pretty cool. Check this out. The workflow finished, and then we have the answer file created at this path. If we return, we can see the green. This is good. If we click over here, we can see the information that we have. We can scroll down. We can see all the output. And this is very important because if you keep going, like you can see a bunch of stuff. So let me just remind what we did. We removed the JSON file. We proceed with the Leapp upgrade. We added an echo. And after that, we move it on with the cat on the JSON file. So let me show you the gap between those commands. This is the end of the first one, first piece. Then we have that echo, which is this one. And then we have the cat of the JSON file, okay? What is important here? Like in the other video, I discussed about errors, inhibitors. You can check, you can fix, you have to fix the inhibitor because with the inhibitor, you will not be able to move it on. About high severity, medium, low. Again, we can search here, high, medium, and low. You can see the description about each of them. Wally, can I proceed with the high or medium, low? Definitely you can, but again, very likely to result in a deteriorated system state. So keep this in mind, give your best, and try to fix them. And how to check. So if we click on back to job, we can click on this tab, Leapp pre-upgrade report. And this is amazing because now we can see all of them, like high is this one. And then we have medium, this one. And then we have low priority, this one. If you like to see, you can click and we have some options. Some of them will allow you to click and fix because we have the command to fix that behavior. Some of them will be like this. Hey, this is low, and then a complete description. We have some tags and some hints, and then you can see the best way to fix this one. Okay, I have inhibitor here, which is the missing file, and how to fix that. we can just proceed this command. We have another inhibitor. The install OS version is not supported for the InPlace upgrade to the target RHEL version. The supported is RHEL 7.9 or RHEL SAP HANA 7.9. Our machine is on 7.8, remember? So again, I'm not able to proceed because my machine is still on 7.8. So I have to move it on this machine. I have to proceed with the update. If we scroll down, we have one more here. This system is not registered or subscribed, which is weird because we are already subscribed. We are consuming content from satellite and we have the subscription. So let's move it on. Let's see how this will be. Maybe there is a bug. Who knows? Let's check. You can see that the only one that I can check is this. All the rest is not allowing me to click. They are grayed out. So I can check this one. Fix selected. Let me log in back. I can check this one. I can click on fix selected. This is going to create a remediation for Leapp. And then in this case, again, we can click on skip to review. But let me show one thing to you. This is the run pre-upgrade. This is going to run the pre-upgrade after that. Yes. Then we have the remediation ID 59. That's okay. This is what I would like to show you. So if we submit, let's see what will happen. Because basically what we are doing here, we are going to execute that command, but not via CLI. We are asking satellite to do this for us. So once again, we are checking if the Leapp is around. If not, the Leapp is going to fail. This script is going to fail. If yes, we'll move it on. Then we have the Leapp answer. This is the command to fix that issue or that inhibitor. Once we do this, we will check Leapp once again. And then we will proceed like removing the JSON file, running Leapp pre-upgrade one more time, and then echo and printing the JSON file. So let's click on overview. We can click on the server name. And same process, one more time. We can keep this one over here. We can see that this machine will be executing the Leapp pre-upgrade once again. We will do the assessment one more time. And we already know that this is going to fail because this machine is on 7.8. It is not on 7.9. So let's wait for this and let's see what will be the next step. And we are back. Once again, the workflow finished, and then we can see the answer file was created. If we return, we can scroll down. We can see that now we have two inhibitors. And over here, we have the JSON file. So let's come back to the job. Let's click on Leapp pre-upgrade report. And if we take a look on inhibitor, we have two. This one and this one. So the system is not registered or subscribed. For me, this is a bug yet or something like the time frame, the version of this machine. Let's move it on to the next. The install OS version is not supported. Okay, we have to fix this. We need to bump the version of that machine. Well, what's the best way to move it on and bump the version of this machine? You can go on the client CLI and just type yum update. But again, I gave you a promise that we'll be using satellite webUI. So let's do this via webUI. You can click on all hosts one more time, pick the server. Let's click on schedule remote job. And from here, I like to use this one, Catello. And then we have install errata by search query, Catello script default. What is the deal here? When we click on next, I have my machine and I can pass one specific errata or one kind of query to get the errata. If I do not specify any errata and just move it on, this is going to install all the errata available to that machine. And this is what we want, okay? And I'm pretty sure that this machine, let me show you. If we do yum update, this is gonna check all the packets, and probably one of them is the kernel. And in order to put my new kernel up and running, we need to restart this server, okay? So let's take a look on the packets. If we scroll up, we can see that we have a new kernel, different version of the current one. I would like to restart my machine at the end of the process. And how can I do that? So let's say no. One command that we can use is shutdown. So let's take a look on the manual page real quick. I can use shutdown, I can pass some options, and I can pass a time. So if I pass -m and one number, this number will be in minutes, and I would like to reboot my system. So basically we can do something like this. Shut down. I'm not going to run this command, but it will be something like this. +1. Hash in the beginning or pound, so this is just like a comment on bash. This will not be executed. So we have this command, USR being shut down -r to reboot after 1 minute. Wally, can I use this somewhere? Definitely you can. We have pre scripts and we have post scripts, which means I have this execution that I'm gonna do, all the updates about errata. I don't want to restart before because I would like to install those packets. And once I install all those errata, I would like to restart my machine. Then I can come to post script and just do something like this. So basically this is gonna restart that server 1 minute later, okay? All right, let's go next. Same information, we can use the basic here, no need to change anything. This is the information, and at this moment, let me return journalctl-f. Let's submit. This is gonna create a new job just for the package updates. We can see that we have already the call here. And look at that, yum-y, update minimal, advisory, and we have a bunch of advisory. We can click on preview templates, we can click over here. This is the script that is running on that server right now. So we have the shebang, we have the bash, and from here, this is the action, yum-y, update minimal, and all the advisory available for that server. After that, we have the post script. And what is the post script telling to do? Shutdown -r +1. After 1 minute, this machine is gonna restart. Okay, at the bottom, we can see here as well some information. Wally, I would like to see what's happening. So you can click on the machine and you will be able to see the output, live output from that machine. So this machine now is just downloading all this set of packets. Like we have the list of packets to get updated, we have the kernel. This is very similar to what we got in the CLI because I type yum update. This is not doing the update, this is just installing the errata, but at the end of the day it will be very, very similar. And here we are updating some packets. And we are in 20 now, 21, 25, 27. And this is gonna go straight to the bottom up to the latest version. So let's do this. Let's return to the job. I'm gonna open this terminal. Let me resize to be in window mode. Yes, from here we can have an idea about when this machine is gonna finish the update. And 1 minute later, we will be able to see in the terminal on the right top that machine restarting. And this is good. So let's wait for this to finish and then I'll be back with you guys. Pretty good. Let's take a look on this. We saw a bunch of output here, like the result of the update. And then we got this message. Hey, broadcast message from root of this local server. The system is going down for reboot at 2024-06-23 or 23rd, 3/33/28. If we take a look on the date now, 3/33/08, that means that was the time that was finished the update. The update is not running anymore. And then we schedule the reboot for 1 minute later. So the machine is going to restart right now. And then there we go. If we take a look here, the machine just restarted as expected. And then the machine will be back pretty soon. And press some enter just to speed up the process. This is the same server, 7.9. And then we are back. So let me reconnect. journalctl-f, and let's keep the top here as well. So let's go back to satellite, host, all hosts. We'll have the machine selected, pre-upgrade check, skip to review, and submit. So again, we know the drill here. This machine is going to check if Leapp is installed. If yes, this is going to remove the JSON file, and we'll rerun the Leapp pre-upgrade. We'll put an echo with a statement, a text, and then we'll print the content of that JSON. If we take a look now, there is no report available at this moment because the process is still running. We can check here all the information. All right, let me get out. From this one, we can run the tail-f and var log Leapp. We can see a bunch of files over there, .log. And again, I'm just showing this via CLI just to show you what's going on under the hood. But in your environment, you don't need to do this at all. Like you can do everything via satellite webUI. All the response of the tasks will be returned to satellite, and you can handle in the better way as possible via the webUI as well. If you need to install a package, if you need to check something, if you need to change any update, so you can definitely use the satellite webUI 99% of the time. That 1% is definitely when you cannot, or maybe you would like to go via CLI just to speed up anything, some process or something specific from that specific server that is causing any problem to you, then yes, definitely you can go via CLI. But besides that, no need at all. Okay, this is gonna run. Let's wait for a bit. Let's do this. This is gonna run. Once this is done, I'll be back with you. Amazing, so exciting. Let's return to this. The workflow finished once again. We have the answer file. And if we take a look here on this task, we can click on the machine. We can scroll straight to the bottom. We can see that now there is no inhibitors, no errors. And we have the output of that JSON. So if we return to the job, now it is green. And if we take a look on inhibitor, the inhibitor is gone, including the first one about subscription. So I'm pretty confident that something about the version maybe of the RHEL7 8 was not totally accurate. Maybe we've aligned with the Leapp, but once we move it on to the latest version, 7.9 or 7Z, then yes, we got everything on the rails and good to go. So there is no more inhibitor at this moment. Okay, at this point, we have some options here, some methods with the 5 or high, the risk factor, this one. Wally, should I fix all of them before moving on with the upgrade? It is nice to take a look on them, have an idea, and be sure about what they are telling us, because eventually, let's suppose this network driver will not be available on RHEL8. So what will happen is your machine will boot up on RHEL8, and now your network drive is not work anymore. So you have no access via network. This is a bad thing. But according to the message, like this is something that can happen I would tell you give it a try, or if this is a very important machine, you can definitely clone and try in lab before going to do this in production. But in this case, for the sake of this video, I'm not gonna fix all of them. We are good here. We have all the information, no inhibitor at all. Next step is just run upgrade. So we can click the button. And once again, I don't need to pass through all of them. I can skip to the review and submit. So if we take a look on this template, let's check. Now I have two tasks. One is Leapp upgrade, which is gonna indeed upgrade my machine. We'll do all the process. And then we have the reboot, which means this machine will get rebooted automatically. So I don't need to do anything else, okay? If we click over here, we can see what's going on. In the same way, I can go to the machine, do a tail on my log files, and then I can see what will happen. From now, basically, Leapp's gonna create a container with RHEL8. We'll do the migration of all the applications, all the packages that you have on RHEL7 to RHEL8. We'll restart this machine. A new entry will be created in your grub, and then that image or that new kernel will be used. And then it is where the magic happens, like this translation from the container to your machine. But don't worry about file system, because the file system is still around, all the files will be around. So this is not a big deal. But again, anytime that you do this, again, and this information is in our documentation, create a snapshot or create a backup, something that you can restore in case of problems. Wally, is this 100% reliable? All the time works? No. Eventually we have some problems. Eventually it can be something specific in the customer environment, some configuration, some third-party application, some permission. I can think about different items that could cause problems about the InPlace upgrade. But if you have like a very well machine up and running, no too much hardening, because how much more you improve your hardening, like changing permissions, changing a lot of stuff, then yes, the possibility to get something off during the InPlace upgrade will increase, will bump. But again, if you have problem, feel free to open a support case with Red Hat. The guys are amazing and definitely they will help you in your case. But the best option is to keep your snapshot or backup. So if something happened, if this is a production server, you can anytime restore, and then we can see, like in a parallel way, different approach that we can use to help you to move it on with the upgrade. But this is pretty straightforward. In general, this works pretty well, okay? All right, this is gonna run. This is gonna prepare everything. And at the end of the process, this is gonna restart the machine automatically. And then a new entry on the machine will be created. That process will start automatically as well. At the end of that process, that machine will got rebooted once again. And then we have one more phase about SC Linux, checking the context of your storage. At the end of that process, the machine will get rebooted once again, and then there you go. We will be in your RHEL8. So basically that's it. Okay, this is moving on. Let me show what should be needed after moving to RHEL8. We have one section here, this one, verifying the post upgrade of your RHEL, basically checking the Red Hat release, checking the kernel information, the version, and there are some additional steps that should be done after, because we still with some modules about RHEL7, and then we'll remove them safely following those steps over here. I'm gonna show you how to proceed. Also, we have some left over, some packets that will be around from RHEL7. Then we can list. It is not available at this moment, but soon will be available here how to remove those packets. So this command is gonna just list, and then I'm gonna show you how to remove them safely, okay? So we have this one to list, another one that to remove those packets. We have this one that to remove some additional packets from RHEL8. Then we can remove the var_lib modules from RHEL7 if still some at this point. In general, they will not be here anymore because we proceed with some cleanup on the top. And this one is going to remove basically the var_log_lib and var_lib_lib. In this folder, we have all the logs about the upgrade. Everything that we are seeing here, all the information, all the flags, all the status of each transaction will be on this folder. So if you don't need anything, like, okay, I migrated my server today and I'm good, everything is okay, definitely you can remove this one. If you need some additional information, like in 1 week or maybe 1 month, I don't remember which flag, I do not know, something like that, I will not recommend you to remove this one. Again, this is optional. You can or you cannot. This will not affect your system at all. But this is data, this is information. So if you need this information in the future, the information will be around, okay? In the same way, var_lib_lib, because in this folder, we have a SQLite database for the operation used by Leapp. So all the information will be in that file. We can retrieve a lot of information, a lot of messages, much more than this log. So if you need some additional information for any reason, I would not recommend you to remove those files, okay? And this is just a temporary folder with some temporary files. Same idea, okay? So this is optional. I would not remove on my server, at least not like maybe in the first 2 weeks. After that, I believe I would be good to go and clean up them, but just to let you know. And basically that's it. We have some additional information here, but yeah, this is for IBM Z architecture. Yeah, I would say that we would stop like for a regular machine 86 architecture on this step as well. So let's take a look on the Leapp. We can see all the packets over here. Those packets are for RHEL8. So basically we are downloading this now and adding in a container. We work with a container just to do this upgrade. From now, let's keep the machine running. Once this upgrade is done, I will be back with you. Amazing, folks. Let's take a look on this. The machine just restarted. We can see in the logs the state and everything else that happened. The last line was answer file we created on var_log_lib answer file. The machine will boot up on the local disk. And from here, I'm just moving the mouse to remove the countdown. But I would like to show you this. There is one new entry called RHEL Upgrade init rum fs or file system. This is the specific entry point that will be used just for this upgrade process. After that, this one will be removed as well. So let's hit the enter. Let's start on that one. And at this moment, like the upgrade is gonna keep moving, we'll continue. And once this is done, I'll be back with you again. Folks, we are almost in the end of this process. So check this out. Now we just finished the verification of the package. Now we can see the upgrade process. And after that, the machine is gonna update automatically. We'll be back once we finish this phase. Folks, let me show one thing to you here. If we come back to the job, we can see that this job failed. And let me show the reason. We can see that the upgrade is still running. Like, it's running right now. We saw the information about the final part of that process, and then we have some additional steps and we are moving. This machine is not too fast. So this guy over here failed because of this. So we have the Leapp on the first task. After that, we have another task, which is a reboot. So the Leapp process was executed, the machine restarted, and now we have the next task, which is reboot, and we'll wait 1800 seconds. which is equal to 30 minutes. So after 30 minutes, this plate just returns to the machine and check the state. We know that this machine is not up and running yet. The process is still running. Like this machine has not too much resource, and then it is a slow process. Because of that, this is failing. If you have like a faster machine, definitely this process will end up faster, and then this one will be green as well, as expected, not red like this. But this does not mean that my machine is not upgraded, because the process is still running. So yeah, just to let you know. One thing I'm gonna do is I will check internally what is the best approach here, because even in the documentation of Ansible, we have this as an example of this specific module reboot, and then the expected or the recommended in the help, it's something like, hey, let's put like 1 hour, and then that is 1 hour 3600 seconds, which means 1 hour 60 minutes. So it seems to be fair. Eventually this task is going to wait a bit longer, but I believe this is fair enough. Anyway, I will discuss this internally just to check the best approach, just to avoid this false positive, because this is red here, but the process is still running. It is not finished yet, and I'm pretty confident that this machine will be migrated correctly. So what is the main point here? At the end of the day, you say, Wally, I pushed this process to 10 machines, and then 8 of them fail, and I have 2 succeeded. Basically, at the end of the day, you got all the 10 servers upgraded correctly, but maybe some of them spend more time because they have more packets and more things to do, and they spend more than 30 minutes. And maybe that 2 that passed was like brand new machines or with a lower number of packets that were migrated faster. Or maybe different equipment, different hardware, more resources. I don't know. So I believe the best approach here will be bumping this number, or even allowing the customer to change this one based on their own knowledge. Maybe they will say, okay, this machine is huge. I have a huge number of packets. This should be like 1 hour, and I have another one that will be very quick. That could be like 20 minutes, things like this. But let's return to the server. We can see that we are still doing some stuff here. While this machine is still running, let me ask you, are you familiar with InPlace Upgrade? Have you had used Leapp? Have you any experience with Leapp? It is a good experience, bad experience? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you guys. Also, if you are familiar, we have this similar process from RHEL6 to RHEL7, RHEL7 to RHEL8. We do not have too many RHEL6 around anymore, but RHEL7 we have a lot of customers around the globe. Look at that, look at that, look at that. Now the machine is rebooting, like that process just finished, and then we'll come back. So just to conclude, we have different customers around the globe using RHEL7, a lot of RHEL7, and they are driving crazy because they are going to upgrade all the environment from RHEL7 to RHEL8. Definitely this is a good video and will help a lot of different people around the globe. So, and again, let me know if you have any questions, problems in the comment. I'll be more than glad to help you. Let's boot up from the disk, the local disk. And check this out. At this moment, we can see RHEL8. We can't see RHEL7 anymore. We have just entry for RHEL8, and this is the same machine. So let's boot up. First option. Basically, Leapp is gonna do all the cleanup. Everything is gonna happen during the process. One more point here. If you see on the screen right now, we are seeing a warning about SC Linux. And SC Linux is gonna do the relabel on the whole disk. Well, if I have just my local disk, will be faster. If I have a bunch of file system, a bunch of disks, this will spend some additional time because you pass through all of them just doing the relabel process. And then, yes, this can not be painful, but can consume some additional time. Once this is done, the machine will restart once again, and there you go. You have a brand new RHEL8 with all this stuff. Look at that, the machine got restarted once again. We can see the menu, RHEL8. It's gonna boot automatically. And check this out. This totally deserves like a bunch of heart because this process is amazing. You guys are amazing. And I totally believe that you're loving this video. All right, we have this machine up and running. I'm not gonna use this terminal. I'm gonna use this one. So let's reconnect that server. I believe I can keep this one here just for reference, but probably, yeah, maybe not. We don't need that one anymore. All right, if we come back to the documentation, let's take a look on the post section. First verify. So we can definitely copy and paste some of the commands. Okay, this is a RHEL 8.10, which is good. I have my uname-r. We can see here that we have 8.10, also good. This is the kernel that's running right now. We can see the release. Release is not set, also good. Eventually, if you have this machine with the release set for any reason, what you can do is unset, and then your machine will be able to get the latest version of the packets. Not only the latest, like 8.10. Let's say that tomorrow we release 8.11 and you like this machine to pick automatically that version if available. So you can keep unset. But this is gonna show you like the current state. Okay, based on those tests, simple tests, we can say that this is a RHEL 8.10. If we take a look, subscription identity, the machine is still subscribed, consuming content from library, the content view CV Leapp. If I take a look on config, we are still pointing to the same satellite, satellite.king.lab. The content is coming from the same server. Everything is still the same, except by the version. Now this is a RHEL 8.10. And also yum repo list. On RHEL 8, we don't have the same output as RHEL7, but let me show you. If you just run yum repo list, you should be able to see the repositories, but not with all the information or the number of packets on this standard default. Definitely we can pass yum repo list -v just to provide some additional information. Like this. You can see the repositories that are available, but we cannot see the content. I like to pass -v because -v will bump the verbosity and will tell us some additional information about the repository, the number of packets, number of everything. Everything that we need to know will be in this output. For example, the base OS, the number of packets available, the size, the configuration file, the path, everything, okay? The revision. Amazing. This machine is good. And we have some additional information. Before we move it on with the post-upgrade tasks, let's come back to satellite. Let's click on host, all hosts, and let's take a look. Now we can see that this machine is at 8.10. Before it used to be 7.8 when we started this video. Let me click on it. And we can see that we have some warnings like the execution, errata, there is one errata. Also, we can see some bug over here. I'm pretty confident that we do not have any bug. It is the leftover, okay? We have some steps to do Because of that, I would like to show you this. Okay, so let's come back and let's start the cleaning up. Let me start by this. And then you can see that we have some old information about RHEL7, EL7, and how to clean up them. We can copy this guy, paste. Then you can see the version over here. I can copy this version and paste. If you have more than one, you can just copy and paste and execute this multiple times, and that's it. And we have this information over here. Like this is the line, and this is one example. Okay. Moving on. Remove old kernel from the bootloader entry. Same idea. We have the line and we have the example. And again, I have here the version. If I have 2 or more entries, I'm gonna do this multiple times, or more specifically, the number of times that I have the number of entries over there. So I run the first, I'm gonna run to the second, and that's it. So the first one was 1127. Now we have 1160. That's it. Next step, we have some left over. Let me clean up the screen. Those are the packets that we have about RHEL7 that should be removed at this moment. Wally, how can I remove them? You can do something like this, yum remove, and you can copy and paste. You can do using for, you can do, I'm gonna keep this simple just to show, but you can use any kind of automation in a way that will do this, yum remove, and then the list of packets. So we have Leapp upgrade, Python, USTR. Okay, check this out. Those 3 packets or 3 packets will be removed because we have different versions of kernel. So 2 different packets. And you can see that all matches were filtered out by excluding filter for argument to Leapp upgrade, and Python 2. So we will not be able to remove this one or those packets using yum remove, but that's okay. I can remove this one here. Let me clean up the screen. Let me check the list of packets once again. And now we are gonna remove those packets using RPM-E. And that's it. If we take a look on the list, once again, there is no more additional packet for RHEL6 or 7. Wally, I didn't see this information over here. Why don't we have this just an explanation or a warning statement saying that we have to remove? We have already in place a request for enhancement just to update this document. I'm gonna add those steps. We are checking the best way to do this, but definitely this is the best way. Like we can remove using yum all the packages that you can, and basically those are the packages that will not be removed via yum, so definitely we can use rpm-e and the package that will be around. Okay, we have also those packets, we can safely remove them. The Leapp dapps EL8 and Leapp repository dapps EL8. So yes. And now let's take a look on this folder before we executed that command. So if you take a look, we have this module, the folder for this specific kernel, which is the same that is running, up and running for 18.0.553.5.1. And this is for RHEL8. So we don't have anything from RHEL7. Wally, can I copy this and paste? Definitely you can, but there is nothing that will match with this regular expression. Nothing about EL7, but definitely you can. And again, as I said before, this folder will contain all the log files about your upgrade. This folder is going to contain a SQLite 3 database. So var log Leapp. You can see some files. This is the complete history about the upgrade. This one over here, the report, the JSON, the answer file. This is data. So if you need some information after 1 week or 1 month or whatever the time, those files will be able to help us to help you to identify what you're looking for. In the same way, var lib Leapp, you can see that we have this database file. Again, this will provide much more information than those log files. We can query those and we can collect a lot of information. So again, this is optional. If you want, you can, but I would suggest you to keep this around maybe for 2 weeks up to 1 month. After that, if everything's okay, you can safely remove them, okay? Amazing, Wally. What now? If we come back here, we have this bug. We have some warning. Let's reload this page and check this out. We still with, there is no errata, but let me see. Yeah, this is just the job. And what is this job? Remember that job? That job failed because of the 30 minutes. This upgrade spent more than 30 minutes. And because of that, we have this failed execution job. Besides that, everything seems amazing. Seems pretty good. Okay, let me share one information here. This can be like a bonus. All the time we have customers saying, hey, I have this machine is connected to this content view, and I have the content view correct, the information is accurate, all the repositories. And when we start doing the troubleshooting, we see, hey, this information is not accurate, we need some additional repositories. But this sometimes can be painful because you have to sync that repository, you have to add the repository to this content view, you have to publish, you have to promote. Eventually, this machine can be connected through a capsule, a lot of stuff. If you need to go on this path, that's okay. You have to do all these steps, like enable the repository, sync the content, add to the content view, publish, and after that promote, or during the publication, you can definitely set one specific lifecycle environment. If you have different lifecycle environment, you can promote during this process as well. However, one thing that you can do is this. So let's come back to host, our hosts. Let's click on the server overview. You can see that this server is consuming content from the content view Leapp. And I would like to change. So you can definitely click on edit. You can click on library. And from here, you can click on the full organization view. If you want, you can update this information. This is just send some additional information. Hit the button. What will happen is this machine now is consuming content from the full organization view, the library. Anything that you sync in your satellite will be available automatically to this content host, assuming this content host is connected to your satellite. Wally, if I have a capsule, okay, if you have the library in capsule, once again, as soon as you sync the content in your library, the satellite server is gonna sync the content to the capsule, and this client is gonna get visibility to that set of packets as well. So you don't need to be adding the repository to the content view, syncing, pushing, publishing, this kind of stuff. Eventually, this is pretty good. So you can skip a lot of steps, additional steps about content view and publication, and just go through library, the full organization view. On the client, what will happen is this one, subscription manager identity. You can now see that this machine is consuming content from library. And if we do yarn repo list -v, you should be able to see something like this. For example, let's use the base OS as a reference. We can see the organization, we can see library, and then all the path. So that means if I sync something to my library right now, this machine should be able to see that content. I don't even need to publish and promote to any place because this machine is consuming content from library. So during this InPlace upgrade, this can be very, very useful. Okay. Again, this is InPlace upgrade using satellite. As we saw, we are able to do a lot of stuff via satellite webUI, basically everything. At the end of the day, we got our machine upgraded. Please don't forget to execute the final steps, the cleanup steps, because eventually we get some customers, hey, I'm facing this problem, this is missing, this is not working well. And when we see, it is because of some leftover. So those final steps to be executed on your environment. One more thing, Wally, I have 10 machines that I would like to upgrade. Can I do this in batch? Can I select all of them and do the same steps like install Leapp to the 10 machines at the same time? I start the Leapp pre-check to the 10 machines at the same time. Start the Leapp pre-upgrade to the 10 machines at the same time. Definitely you can. One server, 10 servers, 1,000 servers. Definitely this is a feature. This is a possibility on satellite. Definitely you're good to go. All right. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment. Again, I'll be more than glad to help. If you have any technical problem, feel free to open a new support case with the Red Hat. And who knows, maybe I'll be working on your case. See you next video. Take care. Bye.